I don't know what I'm doing right now. I don't know what I'm doing right now because I'm upset in a certain kind of way that I don't really want to talk about fully on the video. I can say though, to add a little levity, CEO Unicom. There you go. A bottle of Rogue, brewed in Oregon in Haas USMC land, drunk out of a glass, a chalice of the brewery, which is in Anaheim, California. Great little establishment, craft brew beer, great place. And actually what I want to talk about is some videos between Haas, Lamb Dog, and Colonel Richard Hunter when it comes to First Amendment rights and the burying of your kin or your loved ones or the people you care about. So here's my deal. Here's my deal on this one. And in a lot of ways, I go with Colonel Richard Hunter on this one. But I see, of course, I mean, how can you not see the point of a libertarian that it's their free speech to say these things. But here's the thing. Here's the big thing. Free speech is an arm race. It's an arm race of who can speak louder than the other person. And so if you take grieving people and they go to a cemetery and they're going to inter their loved ones, and you have people that are protesting them and they're screaming vehemently that they're going to hell, then you lose the arm race unless you're going to sit there and you're going to shout louder than them. Or you're going to put up more signs, or you're going to get a bullhorn, you're going to be more aggressive than they are. What is the point of it? What is the point at that point? If we've come to an arms stance where my bullhorn is as loud as your bullhorn and no movement is made either way, then what is the point of the protest? What is the point of the comment? What is the point of the thoughts of the person that died for the country? There are some things that are nobler than an idea of putting your mark on a poster board and going and standing in front of a group and shouting and screaming and trying to defame those that died. It's not that idea is more correct than your political beliefs, but it is still an idea that is associated with the country. So what does that mean? What's a solution? Should a armed bunch of armed? Let me take that back. Should a group of muscular individuals go and wrestle some of these people down to the ground and take them out of the way? Should the police turn a blind eye to it? Now you're on a slippery slope. I fully acknowledge that. I fully acknowledge that. Because now you're at the point where when we're here now, when we're at the spot we're in, where most everyone agrees that regardless of why the troops are sent there, their sacrifice is absolute. And they agree with the sacrifice. That when you cross that line, let's say things get worse. Let's say politics and government get worse and worse, and you have a police state, and the police start exercising violence upon the people, and it goes deeper and it goes deeper and it goes deeper, and then all of a sudden now we're like, now we gotta protest those processions, the processions. So are we really maintaining that point, that we have to maintain our right to protest the procession of an individual that is a tyrant or belongs to a tyrant organization? Or are we mainly just allowing those that have hate in their heart to speak? A reasonable person might think that when you were to talk about the Westboro Baptists, that they have hate in their heart, in a sense that they hate the status quo as it stands right now. So everything they say at that point is hate speech to a point, isn't it? I mean, it is not their public face that they have, and what they say and what they do. Is not that a form of hate speech? They hate the status quo. It doesn't have to be about a race or a creed or a color. It's synonymous with race, right? Or a unit or a group or even the military in general. They don't like the status quo. Is that hate speech? Here's the problem with that, right? So you bust them for hate speech, and then we get real bad. Things go real bad. And now you're in a situation where you have a world of people that, not even a world, just a country, just a small country of people that are being unjustly treated by the masses. And so now I'm torn. Because on one hand, you have a true freedom, embracing, forward-thinking thought. But on the other hand, you have a totally regressive group of primates that don't embrace the thought of rebellion. It's as though you were to take the Westboro Baptists, those primates, and their simplistic thoughts of reality, and you were to transport them to a future where they are in charge, and they say that you will do things our way. And you, the people, or we, the people, fight against those primates. And we protest against those primates. And now you're in a situation where we look back and we go, God, if we had only let those people protest, we wouldn't have had a precedence for this crap of banning of the protesting of my dominance by the government. The problem here is really not that we're forward-thinking and looking towards the dominance of the government. It is, but it isn't to a certain extent. If our government decided that they were going to repress our First Amendment rights, we have a lot bigger problems than looking back and thinking, oh my God, we should have allowed the Westboro Baptists to protest, because had we not, this precedence would never have existed. That's the problem. We're dancing around the fact that we have a constitutional right of free speech. And that's true. But in some ways, I think that the cops might need to turn a blind eye to maybe a couple fucking punches getting thrown. Because in the end, if we really go down the road of oppression, complete oppression, nobody is going to have a moment with a magistrate or whoever is in charge, and that we look back and they call forward the time that we quelched the speech of the Westboro Baptists. Think about it. Think about when true people oppression comes about. That is not going to be what looks back as the hallmark of our movement down. That is going to be a footnote in the world of assholes that have lived in this country. And we either fucking smack them down now, or we deal with it like little pussies. That's it.